everybody. Welcome to the Pinball Post for August 10th. And I tell you what, boy, we've had one heck of a week. Have we not? Between everything that's been going on and just pinball extraordinaire this week. All the stuff with that games. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to have a giveaway tonight for $25 gift card. We've got some special thanks to go out. And it's just going to be interesting. So anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about everything that's happening in the digital pinball world this week, and it's been crazy. So, first off, let's get into the chat a little bit. Papa Brad, welcome to the stream. Pinball Wizard, always a big supporter. He's here. Leon, my man, and Dennis B, awesome, you guys. Welcome. It's a lot of love. There he is, man. All right, so let's get into it a little bit. We're gonna go over some of the more preliminary stuff to start, and then we'll get into the big topics. We've got a lot of big topics, so let me tell you. So. We'll start off with some of those little things. Scores from last week. So let me bring them up here. Switch over to our display. So this was last week. Kind of a crazy week, but boy, I tell you, no surprise with some of the people up on the leaderboards here. We had Bad Ben Han, 6-string Ping, Skull Joe, Chalada Love had one heck of a week. Wizard 226, Bally Dern, Pinball Wizard, Drathus. Papa Brad beat me out this week. Just so you know, Papa Brad, I did not play on Thursday night. I probably should have, but I was too busy doing other things and recording videos and the whole bit. So you got me fair and square. Anyway, I ended up 10th. I think I was 7th going into Thursday, and I was like, whatever it is, it is. So Tomato Grass was surprisingly 13th. He only played 3 games. So, and I think one of the biggest notes here is that it looks like only 13 people played all 5 games last week. So it is what it is, man. It's Flipper Friends has been kind of what it is lately, but it's been kind of interesting in that regard. So this is the HD side, or the 4K side. Let's jump over to the HD side just for a second, and we'll look there as well. Cyril, he's very well known on the HD side. My man Leon, there you are, number 2. Awesome showing. I actually contributed this week to the this last week to the HD side. I actually got 7th. I don't have the Gottlieb games on my micro though, so I ended up 4th. Dennis B right there with me, got me by a point. I was fighting him left and right, so awesome week for this. Pinball Wizard was 10th, and just it's awesome to see everybody on the leaderboards here. So let's jump over to the 4K stuff for this week, and we'll talk a little bit about the games. So here we are with the games currently. They're Rescue 911, Battle, Trolls, Firefighter, Wildlands, and Vern's Mystery Island. So let's jump over to our display. All right, Arkanoid. So this is an HD game, so we should talk about that too. So these are all the HD game that we're gonna talk about. Let's start with the 4K ones though. Let's start with Battle. So Battle was actually an HD game from last week. So if you played on the HD side, you certainly knew how to play this one this week. So that was kind of cool to see. We had, this week, we have Trolls. Trolls is actually a really fun game. You can get to the wizard mode pretty easily and get through that. Pretty cool game. A lot of people worry about the theming of this one, but let's be honest, Trolls is a fantastic game. And not too many people actually complain about it too much, so it's a really good title. Firefighter Wildlands was a new release on Thursday. This one has been getting rave reviews from most people who have played it, I think. Really, really awesome. I joined the Billion Club today. A couple hours ago, I got over 1 billion for the first time. So scores have been really awesome on this table. We'll talk more about this here in a minute, but man, fantastic table. All right, next up, we'll go to Vern's Mysterious Island. This one has been kind of interesting. It's a very difficult table. We'll talk a little bit more about this too, but this is also a release from this week. We had 2 Zen packs from the Honor and Legacy pack, and then we had the Magic Pixel release of Firefighter Wildlands. So that was the 4K side for this week. And then the additional HD tables, we have Fox and Socks, we'll go back to, which we've had quite a few times before. I think everybody pretty much knows how to play this game at this point. We've definitely had it before, and we'll probably have it again here soon. Tropical. Where is Tropical at? I know I have it in here somewhere. Where are you at? Tropical. There it is. Tropical. This is a solid state game, or electrical mechanical. They always get me on this one. Really like this table actually. This is a really fun one. This is kind of in the vein of Battle. It's a little more simplistic than Battle, but it's a really fun game all in all. And then lastly, we got to talk a little bit about Arkanoid. Arkanoid is a brutal game if you've ever played it. Super hard game, but it is kind of fun. Some of the scoring is a little bit off, I think, in this one, but man, oh man, what a great game this is. Yeah, thanks Dennis B for that. I appreciate it, man. Now number 8 in the 1 billion club for Wildlands. Dude, it's a great game. I tell you what, everybody's killing that game. Sounds like you finally got your start button fixed. No, he does not. Still waiting on the parts from Micro Pinball. I got mine. I bought 5 or 6 of those suckers when I did it too, so I totally get it, man. Alright, so let's go back to... Alright, so back to the leaderboards here. Alright, so what do we got to talk about now? That is Flipper Friends, the actual games that we're playing. We're really enjoying them, I think, for the most part. However, there's some big stuff that we're going to talk to about that because of those issues. Let's jump over to the calendar talk. So, At Games released a calendar this week for the month of August. I think we were all a little apprehensive about this, quite frankly, with them releasing calendars and not releasing games on time. That's been a big issue. So it is what it is. This week they earlier in the week, it was on Monday, they dropped this calendar and we got this stuff. This was the calendar that we got. Pretty exciting for the 4K folks. So this is the 4K schedule, but the HD one's really not that much different other than the fact that they don't have the Zen tables. But we did get Firefighter Wildlands and the Honor and Legacy pack this week. We'll talk a little bit about more of those in a minute. And then we're slated next week, looking forward, to get the Williams Pinball Pack 9, which includes Whodunit, Pinbot, and Taxi. So we're all excited about those as well. Rumor has it they might open up a 2 billion club if there is a demand. Pinball Wizard giving me grief about the Firefighter Wildlands. It is definitely going to be 2 or 3 billion here pretty quick. I think you just need a couple good balls here or there, and you're gonna get there for sure. Ballydurn, awesome. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hi, all. Can't stick around, but wanted to say at least pop. Absolutely, man. If you can drop back in, Ballydurn, let me know. We're gonna do a drawing for a $25 gift card. So if you're here, let me know, and we'll get to it. Anyway, that was the calendar for this week. They also have a couple sales on their pinball skins and things like that. This is nothing new. So the Flipper Friends, as we've seen, this is this week's. This is the calendar for August, looking at the releases. So we are up to Williams 9 that's going to come out on Thursday, along with Supersonic Deluxe, which I absolutely love this table. If you've not played Supersonic Deluxe in any capacity on Zaccaria, it is a really good game. So it is one that has really cool multipliers along with orbits. And so when you multiply the rollovers at the top, it actually multiplies your combo shots. So you can really get a big score on it. It's a lot of fun. Has some really nice shots. The graphics are pretty good on it. I think most people will really enjoy it. So that's my sneak peek on it. August 20th, we have no idea what this Zen release is. We can have speculation all we want about Circus Voltaire or Safecracker or something like that. We don't know. It could be more Zen Originals. Like we got the Honor Legacy pack that was just kind of a poof. We had no idea what we were getting. I did reviews on Honor and Legacy and Firefighter Wildlands if you're interested. But then later on this month, we're also beginning getting Magic Castle based on this. So another really good Zen table, Zaccaria table that we have on Steam. So for Flipper Friends, kind of more of the same, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff here. I did a whole crazy rant on Gottlieb games and how they need to be fixed yesterday. Maybe not my proudest moment, but it was a 6.5 minute rant about either fixing Gottlieb games or getting them off the Flipper Friends. You can see this bottom row across Flipper Friends for the next 5 weeks. We're basically in week 2 of this right now, but we're looking at Rescue 911 that's had all kinds of issues. But the elephant in the room is the stuff that we did not talk about here. You notice all this stuff that they're talking about here. They don't talk anything about this mysterious little firmware update we got. So, Monday, firmware dropped. Nobody knew it was coming. There was no transparency whatsoever. And anybody who had affordable financing had issues with their systems. Many of them were locked out. Some people who bought directly from At Games were still locked out. Not only that, the firmware has caused a number of issues, namely Gottlieb games for a lot of people still have no sound. I know a lot of you in the chat. Billy Wood Mods, welcome to the stream, buddy, as well. Rant was well deserved. I appreciate that. I'm hot about it. I'm passionate about it because I love this community and I love this system and I just want the things to be fixed. I hear it from you guys all the time about how frustrating this is and how you're having to tilt out of games and get stuff to go. I had a whole conversation with Chalada Love and Pinball Wizard in my Discord, and there's a lot of frustration around it. That particular video has over 250 views and almost 40 likes already in less than 24 hours. So there's definitely a group of people who agree with me on it. Craziness. So it is what it is, man. But with that, there's, if you guys are still having issues in the with your firmware, please let me know in the chat. I'm curious to see how many people are still having problems. The problem that I had initially, I was scared to death. I updated my firmware thinking, it's going to be what it's going to be. And I immediately had a sound bug where if the sound was on 1 or above, the sound effects kit was through the roof, loud as it could possibly be. I thought I was going to blow up my speakers. No matter, every time I hit it to 1, it just would blow the speakers. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a real problem. Luckily for me, this is my experience, I power cycled the machine and had no problems after that. My Gottlieb games have sound. I've had no issues. In fact, excuse that, sorry about that, camera I banged the desk and the damn camera almost fell out. So, for me, it was not that big a deal. But for some of you, it's been absolutely insane. Chalada Love, I know you still are missing sound on your Gottlieb games. That's a real big problem. We've had problems on the HD side as well. Currently on the HD and the micro systems, they're unable to upload scores at all, according to a UUID thing that's happening with those. There's some type of authentication or something that's working on those. Still being a problem. So the HD rankings right now in Flipper Friends event is kind of a mess. My goodness, man. Financing is the only reason why people are dealing with having to add their order number, and it's also tied to the premium features. You're absolutely right, Billy Woods. And I think they sent those things out thinking that people would just keep paying them, and they weren't getting any statements or anything. So I think that kind of lapsed, and they went, "Oh my gosh, what are we gonna do?" From what Chaotic BPR was telling me, and shout out to him, I'm not sure where he's at in the chat. He might show up a little later. There was talk that they wanted to do this firmware back in February, and for whatever reason they couldn't do it. There was coding issues. The team that they brought in to do it was still having issues, and they weren't able to do the update because it was going to break. Everything they tried to do was going to break something else in the system. So, good to hear that you have sound, Papa Brad. I know I do. It'd be really hard. I know Chalada Love in his Tuesday stream played Teed Off, and he had no volume. And it's very when you're playing a pinball game and you don't have volume, it's really hard. Like, it's really hard to understand what's going on there. So it just takes so much away from the experience. And so I totally I feel for you guys that are having issues. I can't imagine. And I know I talked to Christopher Camera on Facebook. He's in the unofficial Facebook groups and stuff like that. He had a system that he was completely locked out of. His experience, however, with At Games, he was able to contact them when within an hour he was up and running. So there's definitely some people that are getting away with it and getting locked back in. Tomato Grass's family he basically sold his family 2 4K systems. They were both locked out for a short time. Apparently their order code, they were able to find it. They entered it in, it locked them out, and they were able to enter it again, and it worked. So, either way, trust was broken, and I know that was the biggest thing that I really wanted to get across during that time frame, is that, man, oh man, trust is such an important thing when we're looking at this stuff, because all we want to do is play our games. Whether it's offline, whether it's online, we want the leaderboards to work, we want the games to work. Yes, we're asking a lot, but, like, my goodness, to get locked out of a system that you paid, in excess of $2,000 for, that's pretty dicey. So really tough. But in that, I gotta say, I think for the most part, I think we're out of the woods. There's a few things I definitely need to fix. HD scoring is obviously a big one right now. Gottlieb Games sound has got to be fixed. I did my rant with the hopes that they would acknowledge, at the very least, what has happened, and do something about it. Now, I don't expect them to patch the Gottlieb Games. I would love if they did. But I've really got to say, the weird buzz at Gottlieb Games is at a max volume. That's so weird, man. Like, we have all these little issues here and there, and I just don't understand it. Seems to be more general lagging on the system since the update. Navigating menus and gameplay. I've seen this too, Dennis B. I noticed on the leaderboards, for example, and I don't see it right now, but I've seen it on the leaderboards today a couple times. I've been sitting here working at my desk, and I look at the leaderboards, and they're like stuttering to even come up in the leaderboards. So really weird changes there. Not really sure what's going on. There's gonna have to be a patch. I would assume it'll probably come out on Thursday when they do the component update for the Zen tables. I'm hoping that's the case. God, if something's messed up again, you know, we're really into it, man. I tell you. So, anyway, that's the firmware update. If there's anybody else who want to talk about further about it, I would love to talk about it, see what you guys want to hear about it. But I think we beat that horse to death. I know we've talked about it a ton in my Discord. You could certainly jump, if you haven't had enough of that conversation, definitely check my Discord. I got a link right there. If you're interested, you can jump over there. We talk about this stuff all the time. In depth, let me tell you. So, I do want to do some special thanks, though, to some people who reached out to me this week. Said they absolutely love the channel. It's become part of their week, and that makes my heart sing, I guess. It's just, this channel came up out of nothing, and to have people say that they really appreciate it and it's part of their week is really important to me. So, first off, Harris Duh, you're in my Discord. You've been awesome. He connected with me. We've chatted about all kinds of stuff, and it's just been awesome. He told me that he and his wife play pinball, and he got her hooked, and then she was like, "Who's this guy?" And he's like, "That's the guy. That's the pinball guy." And so, Sandy, Fox, you and Harris Duh have been awesome. Welcome to the community. You're in my Discords now, so that's really cool. And then Pinball Wizard 2023, he went out of his way to just say, "Hey man, like this channel's been really awesome. You kind of inspired me to get a 4K, and that really meant the world to me." So it's been awesome. So from all the special thanks that I got, an anonymous user this week came to me and said, "Look, I want to donate something to you to give away on your pinball post. So on your channel." So they have given me a $25 gift card to give to one of you. So what I'm going to do now is I want to give away a $25 gift card. So if you want to be eligible, put number 1 in the chat, and I will add your name to a list, and we'll do a random generator here in a little bit for the $25 gift card. This is going to be good for any tape or any packs that you can buy. So this will be for Zen tables, any of the Magic Pixel tables. You could use this towards a control panel or anything you want. You use it towards the system if you want. So just put a 1 in the chat. I'll write your name down on the list, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. So, next up, boy, I tell you, let's jump over to, we'll talk about a little bit about some of the stuff that happened this week with more of this stuff. We've had, what a crazy week this has been, let me tell you. All right. So this is Vern's Mysterious Island. Let me go back over to it. PC display. Alright, so here's Vern's Mysterious Island. We did a quick review. We did a review on this for the Honor and Legacy pack. This was the new table. I think for the most part people have really liked it, but it is a grind. It could be a very difficult table. So, and make sure to get those 1s in the chat. In the chat. Thank you, Chad and Ballydern. Papa Brad, we got you in there. So, Vern's Mysterious Island, this is a tough game. I think we've all kind of appreciated its difficulty, and it's if you bought it, you know, it's about $7.50, so it's been kind of interesting there. But something has been. It's a very story-driven table. It's a very difficult table. So whether you like it or dislike it, there's definitely very polarizing options on this one. This is a tough game. next up, let's talk about a Samurai's Vengeance. Now, this one I really struggled with. I wanted to love this table. This is the one that I bought the pack for. Again, this happened to me before when I bought the Gearbox pack. I really wanted Homeworld to be fantastic, and it was not. I know Pinball Wizard has given me a lot of grief over that over time. Leon has given me a lot of grief about that over time. And I tell you what, it's just been incredibly crazy. This table is incredibly hard. The biggest thing that I found in my review is that the kickbacks are really hard to get. If you go over a letter that is lit up, it takes that letter away. And I'm like, man, just give me a stupid kickback for crying out loud. Insanely difficult table. So, and then of course, Firefighter Wildlands. If you don't have this table and you own an HD system, you need to buy this table. There's no question. This is a fantastic table. I rated this an 8.5 in my review. I think it's probably one of the top 5 Magic Pixel tables to date. Some people will probably tell me that rating's too low. I disagree. For me, it just the only thing that this table lacks is more special effects or a tighter rule set that Sea of Thieves or Nature's Fury had. There's a couple of really good tables there that it compares to. Definitely Nature's Fury is very, very similar to. And for me, that's one that, it could have been, as good as it is, it could have been so much better. I do think it's a little funny that they allow you to get to the first multi-ball incredibly easy, and then the second and third and fourth times you have to go through additional shots to lock balls and play that. So very, very interesting. So right now I have 6 names in the drawing for the $25 gift card. So definitely put a 1 in the chat if you're interested in getting some free money towards At Games stuff. Let me know. All right, we'll just keep posting up there. Also, if you don't have a lot of pinball tables, this is going to be pretty nice because you can actually, all of next week's tables you can basically buy for this. It's probably going to be $15 plus 8. You're going to need to use this gift card all at once, so definitely remember that. This was the new release stream that we did last week. If you didn't watch that, it was pretty interesting. Difficult tables. Luckily, I didn't have much knowledge of what Firefighter was going to be like, but it is what it is. We talked about this a little briefly a couple weeks ago, and now I can show you what it looks like. Pretty crazy. Check this out. It actually came. I'm excited. So there it is, the RTX merch. And the back, as you know, if anybody who watched this show very often, you'll definitely hear me say this, usually at the end of my streams, you only need one ball for greatness. So that came this week. That was pretty awesome. And with that, let's jump over to, which I thought was absolutely crazy, but I did it anyway. I know Chelada Love had one, so I started a merch store for all my stuff, for my swag. Any of you that are in my Discord, there's a link to this there. I can put it in the description of this video too. If you're interested in any of this stuff, you're not inclined in any way, shape, or form to do any of this stuff, but I put some really cool stuff in here. You got some holographic stickers. I love root beer, so a frosted glass root beer mug was really important to me. I even got a polo shirt so I can wear to work. Pretty cool stuff. I wanted to get some type of branding for my car, so I got this one here. You only need one ball for greatness. Good stuff. So all kinds of fun stuff. This one here, I don't know if you guys have ever, if you guys are looking for a mat to go on top of your pinball machine, this is a perfect size. 18 by 30 fits the glass of your pinball machine perfectly. So I've ordered this. It's going to be coming soon. Obviously, you may not want my branding on it, but this is just a floor mat. So just know that an 18 by 30, if you see those in the store and you see a cool design or something, it'd be perfect. Or a towel, if you want something to cover your mat. This has kind of a rubber backing, so it was just a perfect option for that. So Mad Ben will add you to the list, buddy. So anyway, that was kind of a cool thing that I did this week. Obviously nothing that I was super excited about, but it was like, hey, you know what? We're going to do it, and if it gets traction, hey, whatever, doesn't matter. So, alright. So that was the shirt, all kinds of good stuff. We talked a little bit about the Honor and Legacy pinball review. This thing kind of blew up. I've actually been surprised that not as many people have been watching this as they have been Firefighter So it was really funny to see a week where a Magic Pixel table blew 2 Zen tables out of the water, not only with their ratings, but also with their reviews. So it was really interesting for how this all worked out. Honor and Legacy, very difficult pack. I think my recommendation to people is if you really have a lot of pinball skills, this is one you could pick up and really get into. There's a lot of nuance there. But let me tell you, it's a tough pack to play. You're really going to need to use your skills on this one. Okay, this is something I was really excited about doing this week. This is the content creators catalog or calendar for this week. So if you're not familiar with my community and this community, quite frankly, it's not just my community, it's your guys' community. As you know, you're already here. This is the Pinball Post. It happens on Sundays at 9:30. We're going to do this every week. Next week, or tomorrow actually, is Tomato Grass has his own YouTube channel, and he has what's called the Wizard Room. And this row I've been on a couple times. It's absolutely fantastic. They do a triple screen gameplay of high-end games. It sounds like they're going to do a little bit of the Zen tables and a Firefighter Wildlands. So if you're interested in some high-level gameplay of some of those, definitely check out the Wizard Room tomorrow at 7 p.m. All times are Eastern on this. It's a really awesome show. I know Chilada Love was on there with me the last time. Love the baby bib. The reason I put that in there, Billy, is I just had, I have my first grandson born in November, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to order that, and I'm going to take it to my son's house next time I go up there. So it's going to be really funny. I thought it'd be really cool just to brand his kid with my pinball logo of all things. So Tuesdays, every Tuesday at noon, Chilada Love does his Flipper Friends stream. It's usually about almost 2-3 hours a lot of times. Chilada Love does a fantastic job describing how to play the games as well as doing them, and he is a top-end player. There's no question. Chilada Love is probably in the top 5 of the players in this community. And he's going to show off his skills on that. So Wednesday, for whatever reason, is kind of a dead day. Now, again, this is pinball-specific streamers and content creators. Now, Papa Brad, I know you go a little bit into the arcade stuff, but you do a lot of pinball stuff on yours, too. So I left out P-Dubs and some of the bigger names, Michael B. and some of those. But on Thursday, we're jam-packed this week. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. Obviously, we have a Zen Studios release and a Magic Pixel release coming at noon. And it just happens to be a day where Chilada Love generally does his VPX stream, but I'm going to suspect he's probably going to do a little bit of the Zen tables as well, or the Magic Pixel release. So, awesome to see. I will probably do my stream at 4:30 on Thursday. I have to work after all, so at 4:30 I'll be happy to start up the games. And then I always like to advertise for one of my favorite shows that I watch every week that they're around. Every time we have a new release, Yo Retro is on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock with his buddy Half a Dozen. They go through the games, they go through the news as well. They go through some toys and different arcade stuff as well, but it's a really good pinball show. And of course, Friday nights is kind of a staple. Papa Brad's Gaming every 9 o'clock, or 9 o'clock every Friday. And then, of course, Saturday, I do my own Flipper Friends stream at 11 o'clock on Saturdays. Now, I didn't do that this week, and I'm trying to skew that a little bit. I'm not sure how I want to do that in the future. Flipper Friends is kind of souring on me with the broken games and things that aren't working out. So I may turn it into just the games that I want to play, and maybe my favorite game of the week. We'll throw in an extra game, something like a Circus 2017 that I know somebody in the chat will probably really appreciate. So that might be something that we do. So yeah, that is the content creator catalog. The Wizard Room is not every week. Yo Retro is not every week, but everything else is pretty locked in pretty much every week. So definitely check those out. See what you guys think. We talked a little bit about this, Fix the Games. I had a whole spiel about this. I won't go into more details about it. If you want to watch it, definitely do it. It is what it is. Man, I tell you, I've had my rant on that, and I put this in my Discord as well. Here I am, the old man yelling at the cloud, yelling at games. So it is what it is. I thought it was funny. I'm old. It is what it is. So, all right. So, if you're still here, anybody else, definitely put a 1 in the chat if you want to be eligible for a $25 gift card. Right now I have 8 names, so we'll start with that. Circus 2017 is my jam. I knew it was Pinball Wizard, so I had to put it in there. So, and one last thing, I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm gonna put a picture up of some of our new friends that we talked about, Harris Duh and Sandy Fox. I don't know that I've seen him. Is he in the chat at all today? That was pretty awesome. But I want to point this out to them. This is a happy couple right here. Like, couples that stay together play pinball together, do they not? Awesome couple here. I was really happy to see these guys. They've talked me up this week and really got to know me a little bit. So it was really cool to see these guys. They went to the pinball arcade yesterday, I believe it was, and they just had a great time. So really cool to see. All right. Gottliebs are fun to play for tournament play, but I have to agree they're just not good. Yeah, you know, man, I've had so many issues with the Gottlieb games, and the sad thing is I love them so much. They're such great games that it's really, really hard to want to play them. And, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's really hard to take. Like, this community has been fighting left and right, and you know what? They made it important to us by putting the IFPA together. I don't think anybody really cared about Flipper Friends all that much before. It was all bragging rights, but when they put the IFP to it, they really made it important to us. So it was really interesting to see how that was. So, I don't know, man. All I'll say is this, that if they want to continue to have people play the Flipper Friends, they may have to switch it up, do something a little different to make sure that gets taken care of. So, anyway, this coming week, obviously we're all excited about the Zen releases, Pinbot, Whodunit, and Taxi. Those are the big ones this week. I'm super excited for it. Let's go ahead and give away that gift card and go from there. All right, so I have 8 names right now. Anybody else wants to be eligible, put a 1 in the chat. This is your last chance. We'll wait just a little bit. Right now I got Chad, Bally Dern, Papa Brad, Dennis B, Chalada Love, Way Too Fast For You, Mad Ben Han, and Arcade. What was that? Arcade Jam Gaming. That's what it was. So that's who I got right now. Billywood Mods, do you want an opportunity for a gift card? Come on, put a 1 in there, man. I see a thumbs up from Leon. You haven't put a 1 in the chat either. Nobody wants money. I don't understand. Nobody wants money for games? Come on, man. So, yeah, it's been a week. I think, you know, I'm still struggling to, you know, I want to play my micro this week. I was really excited about playing the HD tournament last week. Got some good points. And for whatever reason, you know, we can't submit scores now. I mean, it's a huge bummer. So, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Okay, well, that's what it is. We're going to do a random generator then. Let's see what I can get. All right, so we're going to give me a random number between 1 and 8 for the gift card. And then we'll figure out who actually won this thing. Nah, give it to somebody else who wants it. Okay. 1 and 8 it is. We're going to push the button. Boom. Number 6. So, number 6 is Way Too Fast For You. You just won $25 gift card, man. So, congratulations. I'll definitely get with you. We'll have you message me on I'll put my email in the description for this video, and we'll make sure to get to you. I don't know if you're in my Discord or not. If you are not, you can definitely join as one way to contact me. But we'll definitely make sure that you get the $25 gift card. You are the winner. Hopefully you don't have all the games, because that would be a real bummer. Otherwise, you can buy the Zen and Supersonic Deluxe game later this week. So, awesome. And I'm not going to give away the source of who gave me the gift card. They wanted to keep it kind of a surprise, and I really appreciate that. This channel has been a labor of love for me to create and to continue to do, and it's just been fantastic for me. So I'm really excited that this is, congrats Way Too Fast For You. Absolutely, man. Discord, same name. Cool. All right, we'll contact you that way one way or another, but I'll get you that gift card. you could buy some games this week and save you some money, man. Just make sure that you use the gift card all at once. The balance does not transfer. So if you want to wait you may even want to wait an extra week to make sure that you get the full value. You can get the Zen tables, the Magic Pixel table, and then the Zen table again next week. That way you get the full $25 value just to make sure that you get it. So awesome for that. All right. Well, I think that's about it, man. We've had an incredible week of digital pinball. We got another incredible week ahead of us. I'm really excited to see where things go. I am bummed that we had all the firmware issues. That's been really... If you don't have Firefighters, dude, you got to get it. You got to get it. It's a great game. Firefighters is a fantastic game. Like I said, it's top tier. It's one of the top 5 games for the HD for sure, but really for Magic Pixel in general. So definitely get it. It's definitely worth it. But just don't buy it today because you won't get the full value for the gift card. So please wait long enough to get as much value as you can out of that gift card. It's kind of a bummer that they don't carry over or give you a different code or something. Curious to see what the Zenpack price is. Chad, I'm, for the love of God, if it's more, I'd be shocked if it's more than $15. But man, I wouldn't be completely out of the realm if it's $20, but I would be shocked if it's more than $15. The fact that we already know about At Games tax. We've seen it already on South Park and Butters. That was a $15 pack. That was a $10 pack on consoles. We've seen it with the Honor and Legacy pack being $15. It was $10 everywhere else. At Games generally does not do sales on their games, at least not the Zen tables. So it makes you wonder. I think it'll be $15, but man, I tell you. Speaking of which, I did get some love from Billy Woods Mods this week too. I want to put a special thanks out to you, Billy Woods Mods, dude. You, first of all, you do amazing content with the comparison videos from the FX to 4KP and the FX3 and all that. Awesome videos. They're 4K 60. They're absolutely clean and crisp. This guy hyped me up this week with all the reviews that I did and all the live streams and everything. You're awesome, man. I love your content. I love seeing the 4K sitting next to the HD at the very end of the videos, and I love that stuff. I love that content. He even shuts up while he plays pinball, which I have trouble doing. So if you have not seen these comparisons of FX to the 4KP, they are very interesting to see. Some of the stuff that I talked about on Vern's Mysterious Island, for example, where the fields kind of need to be pulled back and look a little different, he shows that side by side by side, and it's very glaring when you look at them that way as to why they play a little different or why the physics are a little different. Or for when you go to VR, for example, the tables look way different. If you played Tomb Raider Secrets of Lara Croft, or the Secrets of Croft Manor, if you played it on the 4KP and then you went and played it on VR, holy crap is it different. The whole play field looks like it's pulled back. It is a crazy thing. Let me go over to it real quick. It's really interesting to see. Do I even have it in here? I probably don't have it as a favorite. No, I don't. Whatever. I'll leave it off. But, man, I tell you what. It is so drastic to see the change between VR and the 4KPs as far as the POVs. I know Ray Delatorre, look at you, right on cue, man. Ray Delatorre jumps in here. He's mentioned POVs before on the 4KP being a little skewed, and he is absolutely right. When you see these comparisons on Billy Woods Mods, comparisons from the FX3 to the FX version to the 4KP side by side, it is glaring. And I don't think people, if you've just seen them on the 4K or you've just seen them on the HD or just FX, you probably never thought nothing of it. But if you see them side by side, you will absolutely see it. Thank you so much. Way too fast for you. We'll get that as soon as this show's over. We'll make sure to get you that gift card and get you set up. Really good stuff, man. But yes, the comparison between the tables is pretty drastic, I gotta say. And you wouldn't think it would be. I don't know why they feel like they've got to skew these tables as much as they do. I know there's There's a lot of tables that we have are considered widescreen, or I'm sorry, wide body tables. Like you got Addams Family, Twilight Zone. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Top of my head. Star Trek Next Generation. Those are all wide body tables that they've been squished. Where people really noticed it was Wild West Rampage. Where they really, if you played that one in horizontal, it's got an awesome stuff on the sides. It's got like the train on one side and the saloon and the carriage and stuff on the other. Very cool table, but when you squish that table, it just doesn't look that good. People really noticed it on that one. I'm really worried about the Star Wars tables because of that. If you've noticed the Star Wars tables, a lot of them have that wide perspective and they have all kinds of cool stuff happening on the outsides of the table. And they really push the boundaries with the rails and things like that outside of the table. So it's really interesting to see what those are going to happen. I still think they're going to happen in the fall. I really think they're going to drop a skin of Star Wars somewhere along the way. Maybe with a new, maybe Empire Strikes Back on one side and A New Hope on the other or something like that, and then drop a skin. I think they could could do really, really well. And if they're struggling right now, take these Addams Family tables, seriously, reskin them. If you can't sell them, so what? You're going to have to throw away the toppers. Switch a topper to something. Put an X-Wing on top of one of these suckers. You'll sell it left and right. The back glasses have toppers in VR. Yes, they do. In fact, yeah, I noticed that too, Papa Brad. Addams Family has a really cool topper in VR, which I'm like, that's really awesome. And so Pinball will have the siren lights at the top too. That's cool to see. I was actually looking at, after I noticed that about Addams Family, I started to go to some of the other tables thinking, boy, there is some toppers. Doesn't Getaway have a topper on it too, Papa Brad? I think it does. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think Getaway does too. Doesn't it have the red light siren and stuff like that? I think it happened around the 50th anniversary. Oh man, I hope that's not the case, dude. I really want to see. There's some really good tables in particular that I personally want to see. I want to see Mandalorian. That is my favorite Star Wars table. I know Droids is really good. I mean, Boba Fett is a really good Star Wars table. I want to see some of the Marvel tables. I know we're getting off topic here, but man, I would love to see the Ant-Man. I want to see Captain America, Iron Man. Some really good tables there. Deadpool's kind of cool. I don't know. That table could have been a lot better, I think. I really like the Stern version, which obviously is not the one that's coming, but at any rate, it is what it is. So, with that, it's been a heck of a week, guys. I appreciate everybody who comes out. I know some of this stuff, being at 9:30 at night is kind of early for Harris Duh and Sandy Fox and some of those people out in California. That's like, 5:30 their time, I think, so it's like a 4-hour difference. So, but I think this time frame works really good for this show. Let me know if it doesn't. For some people, I'd be curious to see what everybody thinks. Give me some Hulk. That'd be a good one, too. There's been some really good ones. They have a massive library of great games. You're absolutely right, Papa Brad. There's so many games that could come to this platform, and that's why my rant is so important. I want this table, I want this ecosystem to survive in any capacity. If, Magic Pixel basically, I know that Farsight and those Gottlieb tables basically helped this system survive for the first few months when it really came out. Those 22 games were all it had pretty early on. So I know there's some loyalty that has to be there, obviously, to keep. And I don't know. I was kind of questioning that myself, whether or not that was a contractual thing that they had to keep them in the current tournaments, or what it was. If it was just loyalty, what is the reason for them continuing to push those Gottlieb games on us every single week? I feel like we played them so much. There's only 22 of them. I think we only play about 10 of them. Like, it feels like we never played. I was surprised to see Black Hole coming up. That was really cool. But if we ever played, there's games in there I don't think we've ever played. It's pretty wild. Centigrade's coming up, so there's been a few that we haven't. But man, if you want to change, we really need to hold our feet to the fire. Yes, I agree, Billy, and that's what I was trying to do. I know I don't expect them to come out and acknowledge directly or anything like that, but I would love just a quick acknowledgement that, hey, we know people are still struggling with the firmware. We have a patch coming, blah, 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 blah. Anything. Just acknowledge what it is. Yeah, 911 really ticked me off. Yeah, you know it, man. It broke me. I think it was, Friday night? I think is when I was playing that. And I was absolutely livid. So I went and researched Rescue 911 that day. Because I had always struggled. I watched A Lot of Love and Mad Ben, and they're putting up 3 billion on this table. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I've considered myself a pretty good pinball player. Maybe that's arrogant, maybe that's big-headed, but I'm like, I've considered myself a pretty good pinball player. What am I doing wrong for these things, man? Woods Queen remake, yeah, I'm like, that's a great game. A lot of the remakes never get shown. I don't understand that. So we got these games, and Rescue 911, I finally figured out how to play it. I went back and I cheated. I watched A Lot of Love stream, and I'm like, I see him doing stuff. I did this to Mad Ben a few weeks ago, too, and started to learn some tables. So, there's high-end pinball being played, folks. If you're not scoring big on these tables, it's your own damn fault. Go watch some of the streamers that are really, really good. Sometimes you can watch me, not always. There's better players than me, for sure, because I'm learning stuff watching them. In fact, the Wizard Room, that's another plug for the Wizard Room tomorrow night. If you want to know how to play Firefighters Wildlands, go watch the Wizard Room tomorrow night. They are going to destroy that game tomorrow. Absolutely destroy it. You want that video of me raging. That's the problem, Ray. I don't rage during gameplay. You will not see that. When I do my streams, I'm pretty even keel. Even if I lose a ball, I'm generally pretty chill. Tomato Grass used to scare me because he'd get so angry at the table and slam stuff. He'd be like, "Ah!" That's not me. So when you watched my rant, you had to understand. If you watched any of my content at all, and you watch the video of me ranting for 6.5 minutes about Flipper Friends and Gottlieb tables, you know that that's out of character for me. That is not who I generally am. So, yes, you're absolutely right, Ray. Rescue 911 absolutely broke me. Why? Because I took so much time that day to learn the table. I had only had 471 million total on that table, ever. That was my biggest score. I played the table. I was killing it. I was absolutely killing it. I got 708 million points. It asked me to put my initials in. I put my initials in. I'm like, cool. And then it says, hey, best game ever. Put your initials in again. Cool. So I put my initials in a second time, and I hit the button, and it says 708 million. Congrats. I'm like, cool. I look at the Phil Pal, and I look at it, and I'm like, okay, finally. I was challenging Skull Joe that night. We were going back and forth, and he and I were like third and fourth, and we kept flip-flopping, or fourth and fifth, something like that. We kept flip-flopping. At one point here, we were definitely both playing at the same time. Really cool when you can get that, and you got some of your buddies playing at the same time. You feel like you're really playing against them. So he had got a couple points ahead of me, and I'm like, dude, I just got him. I got him. I'm going to go up about 6 spots. That's going to be 6 more points. That's going to jump me above Skull Joe. I look, and the stupid table doesn't record anything. It doesn't say that it uploaded to the At Games leaderboards. It doesn't say that uploaded to the At Games tournament scores. I'm like, what just happened here? And it doesn't even do that. It just crashes out. Just crashes. It goes right to the menu. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. 708 million. I've never scored that much on that table in my life. And here it is, completely gone. And I know people are going to be like, wah, cry me a river. You had 708 million. People like Chalada Love have done it at like 3 billion and lost the game. Can you imagine? I would flip the table. It would go right out the window. I mean, it was just... I'm strong enough to pick this thing up and throw it out the window. I would absolutely be able to do it. Wasting your time, not really rewarding as a player. I know. You guys have all talked me off of the cliff today about Rescue 911 and all the Gottlieb tables, but I could tell you from experience that I love some of those tables. Teed Off, Rescue 911, Haunted House, Black Hole, they're all so good. Victory is one of my favorite games on the system, and yeah, if you put your initials in twice, it seems like you lose your score and crash out. So I'm like, I didn't know that.
I've seen Chalada Love and Mad Ben tilt out of the third game, and the fact that they have to do that, and it's on a level of maddening that just drives me insane. So, and I can't get that time back. You're absolutely right, Ray. Like, I did enjoy the game, but I want credit for that, you know? Like, it's not even local, because it crashed. Like, I don't even have that score available. So maybe what we need to do, Papa Brad, you're here. Listen to me on this one. Let's hear it. Every week, put one of those Gottlieb tables on your iScore, and we'll just say screw it to Flipper Friends, and everybody will put them on the iScore charts instead. Like, I don't know what to do. I thought myself, like, I'm going to do a couple of the Flipper Friends for my Flipper Friends on Saturday. I think I'm going to do a couple tables that I really like, and then I'll just do a pinball game of the week. Like a game that I just want to play. Probably be a lot of remakes. There's a lot of great remakes. Have you played Nautilus Remake? It's one of the greatest multi-ball games there is. Nautilus Remake. I think it's Nautilus 2016, 2017. It's a great game. Play it. Where is that? People would destroy that game. It's pure multi-ball. One right after another. Boom, 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 boom. You think Nature's Fury rocks? Play some Nautilus. I don't know, man. Leaderboard functionality needs to be 100%. It's so frustrating. You're so right, Chad. And that's where the trust has been broken, man. It's one thing if they just confess and hey, you know what? We can't fix these Farsight games. It's too much of an investment. I think this whole community would be like, okay, fine. That's fine. We know that. They're tough games. They're old. They've been around for 15, 20 years almost, seems like. If nobody was worried about it, then who cares? We would all accept that they're not part of Flipper Friends because of that, but acknowledge it. Take them out of Flipper Friends, make them legacy titles, and just make it what it is. Like, we'll still appreciate the games for what they are. Only hardcores will do the iScore. I know, and I get it, dude. Like, what makes the ALP so good is that you can compare scores. You don't get that with Gottlieb tables. Yeah. And that's so true. Chalada Love was really big about this week too. And Pinball Wizard, both of you have been pushing me really hard today mostly to just say, hey, just appreciate the games for what they are. It's just like your parents. Not everybody likes their parents. Just appreciate them when you can. Tell them you love them when you can. And if they get on your nerves and you can't stand them, just walk away. We can't force @games to do anything. They're going to do what they're going to do. @games going to @games, right? So, you're embarrassed to show them the Gottlieb tables. You should be embarrassed to show them. In fact, they're going to love games like Haunted House. My kids, Haunted House is one of the games that they absolutely love. And Black Hole, the reverse playfield on that is so cool. I wish we had more of those. I was kind of excited that Moonflight and Tropical Deluxe, some of those newer tables from Magic Pixel do some of that, the under playfields and stuff. Really, really cool. So, I don't know, man. They've talked me off the ledge a few times just to appreciate what they are. I'm trying to do that. But I'm definitely going to switch it up a little bit. I don't know that I want to care as much as I have looking at the IFPA. Looking at the results that I have to have, the grind that I will have to do. I'm generally in the 7 to 10 range on Flipper Friends every week. First of all, because I have all the tables. So that feels like cheating to me anyway. Not all of you have all the tables. So I'm going to get between 20 and 30 additional points every week just because I have all the tables. That seems like cheating to me. So Flipper Friends has become all about loyalty and buying packs. There's something to that. Like I don't think anybody can argue with that necessarily. So I don't think @games is going to invest their money in fixes in the Farsight tables. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, and they can do that. They can make that choice. That's totally fine. I just wish they would acknowledge that and say, hey, we're done with them. We've exhausted everything that we're going to do with those games, and let's just move on. And the other thing I'd like to see them do, we talked about it a little bit earlier too, maybe reset the IFPA scores or at least drop all of the IFP scores prior to the announcement of the IFPA. I think that would be a huge boon for all of the players that have not had the system as long as some of the others. And none of us knew that we were being tracked for all of the time. Wasn't it like April 15th when the IFPA dropped, and that was going to be the day, or like the 18th, I think it was. They said, boom, the IFP ratings dropped. They dropped like 2 years worth of scores where people had no idea they were being tracked. And so all of us were thrown in a hopper based on old data, and it's just kind of sucks. Like, I had no idea I was being tracked. I didn't play all the games all the time. I didn't grind. I didn't play hard. I just casually played them. I wasn't too worried about it. So, man, they're not trying to screw up. And, you know, you're absolutely right, Billy. They've been trying to be very transparent. Like, they're very good about putting out a calendar and telling us what they're doing. But every time they don't deliver, we're just like, man, just stop telling us what you're doing. Just shadow drop everything. We've talked about that in the past a couple weeks now. So I don't know what they're going to do. We're certainly not going to change them necessarily, but I think this community, and in part some of this chat, that rant, the traction that it gets. I know my channel is small. I don't expect them to even see it, but I know that they know of it. I've talked to people who are in direct contact with at games. They know that I exist, and that's half the battle. So who knows, man? I think when I mentioned to them in that rant, I'm like, the top 20, 30 player, top 40 players are all in my Discord. You guys are in this community all the time. I see you always in the chat. You could read through this chat every week and see all the great names and all the great players in here every week. So I know they exist. You have to believe that they got to see some of this stuff. But I tell you what, man. Well, that is the show for this week. Again, congratulations to Way Too Fast for you for the $25 gift card. Apparently, he sent me a message in Discord, so I'll get with him right after this, get him set up. Thank you for coming out to this show, the Pinball Post. It's been a huge success, in my opinion, to get almost 20 people at one point watching this show a couple different times now. So it's really been a lot bigger and better than I ever expected. So I'm really excited that people like it. Give me a like and a comment if you're interested in anything else. And as always, I have this Discord link too. If you want to talk more pinball and there wasn't enough in this particular format, we have all the possible ways to talk about pinball. We'll be doing streams this week. You'll see all kinds of streams. In fact, let me jump back to the content creator catalog one last time so everybody can see where it needs to be. If you're going to watch pinball this week, this is the places to watch it. Definitely check out the Wizard Room tomorrow at 7 p.m. Chilada Love Tuesday on Flipper Friends. Thursday, again, we're going to have a huge day. They're all going to be streams all day long, so if you're into pinball, from noon to about 10 o'clock, you'll have pinball. Plenty of people to watch. And then play your games. Get yourself an ice-cold frosty mug root beer. Put it on your pinball table, not on the glass. And play pinball right along with them. They're going to love it. Papa Brad Friday night. And then, of course, I'm going to do a modified Flipper Friends. And we'll kind of go from there. So have a great week of pinball, everybody. Really excited to see what everybody's reaction is to the new Zen packs. I'm super excited for Whodunit. I think that one's just going to be off the wall amazing. So really excited. And we will see you guys on the leaderboards. Remember, you only need one ball for greatness. Keep plunging.
Retro Tech.